My name is David Hines and I'm the Fighting Game Community Manager at Capcom Europe. Today I'm going to go through the 5 new characters as well as show some of the new stages as well as go through some of the new mechanics like Red Focus and Ultra Combo Double.
Champion, fight!
Okay, so now we're moving on to Rolento. Rolento, he's definitely most famous for originating from Final Fight, but much like what was I going to say? Let me start that again. So, most famous for Final Fight, his first appearance, but he actually was in the Alpha series as well, and for many that's probably the most famous for him. Rolento is a more of a hit and run kind of character, so he has really quite good range on his stick attacks, using his baton, which he can swirl around and cause multiple hits with. He's got good range on it as well. Like you can see here, standing hard punch, that just hits from so far away. So he's a hit and run kind of character. I call him hit and run just because in a combination of him having like long range in his attacks, he's got really good mobility options. He's got a roll attack like this, and from that you can kind of follow up with a range of attacks. He can bounce off the wall. Like flying off the wall is quite useful. He's got like a backflip, which this evades pretty much everything. And from here you can then roll straight afterwards. That's really cool. So he has these kind of like really annoying kind of like hit and run style moves. His special moves are quite interesting as well. He's got what we call a Wrecker style of attack, which means you can do multiple hits one after the other. So the idea is that when you see this move hitting, this is called Patriot Circle. It's called to circle forward and punch, just like a traditional fireball-based move. And when you do a quarter circle forward and punch, he spins it once. When you see it hitting, you do it over and over again for a combination of 3 attacks in total. It's really strong for a character like Rolento, especially in hit and run style play. He's also got a kind of, it's a similar, I guess, you can't really call it a projectile style attack. He throws a knife at you through the air. This is quite useful because you start the move by doing a dragon punch motion and pressing kick. And from there you can actually choose whether you press punch or not. Pressing punch releases the knife attack. It's just another move to really frustrate your opponent who's going to be trying to get close to you. Whereas you're going to be trying to run away and keep them away like at far distance. So this is going to be a move that really frustrates your opponent. The EX version can actually be used in combos as well, much like this. And from here, you can actually land his Ultra 1. His Ultra 1 combo actually lands almost after every juggle. Every time your opponent is in juggle state, you can pretty much land Ultra 1. So let's take a look at Rolento's Ultra 1, his Ultra Combo 1. I need to give him some quick beatings. So Rolento's Ultra Combo 1 is actually most useful for the fact that you can combo into it after pretty much any attack that leaves your opponent in a juggle state. Here's one really good example of that. So I used the EX knife attack that I showed you previously, puts him into a juggle state and Ultra 1 combos after that. It does pretty good damage, even though I'm using Ultra Combo Double, which does a decreased amount of damage having access to both Ultras. I really want to show you Rolento's Ultra Combo 2, because it differs greatly in how you use it compared to his Ultra Combo 1. So the great thing about this Ultra is that actually it's projectile invincible. The moment it hits your opponent, it punishes them. So if you see him throw a fireball, you can react with this. And as soon as it hits, that's it. Full damage. You can hit your opponent from really far away, I'd say like almost full screen, like 3/4 of the screen. So once you've got access to this Ultra, your opponent's going to have to think twice before they throw a fireball at you. Rolento's actually got some really tricky movement options. One that I haven't mentioned yet is his pogo stick move. I call it pogo stick. It's unofficially called that. He bounces on his stick. You press down and medium kick and he does that. And from that you can bounce forwards or bounce backwards. It's tricky because it's a really short little hop that he does from that. And you have to actually block high from the following attack if they press the button. Alternatively, he can just go straight into a low attack from that. I'll just quickly show you his super combo. He basically rolls backwards, chucking grenades at you. And you can combo into this move. It does pretty good damage as well. But having said that, Rolento can combo into Ultra 1 in so many different ways, most of which utilize his EX meter. So I don't actually think Rolento will often save his meter enough to get Super Bar very often. But if he does, you might want to use it in that way.